Terry, I want to sincerely say thank you so much for, I know right now you're in Australia, the time zone, it's a real challenge. And I want to sincerely say thank you for making it a meetup and sharing that very, very thought-provoking session with our community. So, but before you leave, I'd like one person, or you can unmute everybody, just tell us one word of what you took away from this session, then Maxwell can ask the questions. Then in our parlance as well, I'd like to find out in the chat, what topic would you like us to cover next for Nigerian Agile Lean Coffee, because it's all about you. Oh, thank you. Rukaya says, I appreciate this opportunity and shared information. It means a lot. I've learned a great deal. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bilikis. Thank you so much. Can I just hear some voices so that it doesn't look like we're just speaking to you? Monica Sambo, thank you for this. It was brilliant. What one thing that you learned from today's session that really connected to you to stop thinking and start innovating? One word.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay. The important thing is about the vision. Like, okay, you should have your vision. However, you should learn to break those vision. Like, you should pick up your goals, and then so that you won't overwhelm yourself with the vision by saying, okay, I want to get there, I want to get to that place. Then you feel so overwhelmed, and then that will prevent you from actually taking action. So breaking those goals into small steps, I got that, and I'm grateful for that.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, Chair Okafor Chidima says, brilliant session. I would like to hear more about how to measure success as a product designer. Cherry,
yes, I'm taking notes. Yes, I'm taking notes. Yeah.
If you have any more topic that you'd like us to cover, please do share. Anybody else would like to share what they've learned today? We're going to wrap up in 6 minutes, and I can let Maxwell ask Terry a question.
Yes.
Be curious. Okay, Monica says be curious, good enough now, and safe enough. Okay, one word for me was, as a leader, have a diverse way of things, of doing things. Fantastic. Yes, somebody, I see that somebody was trying to mute. Anybody else? Anybody? Maxwell, you can ask your question so Terry can give response.
Okay. So my concern is that sometimes you may find out that an organization may actually be the barrier to the team innovating. Now imagine where an organization doesn't really understand the change they want. There is a constraint that there's a constraint which the team has identified, which is actually a bane to innovation. How do you get the organization to actually see this, and this is really impacting on the team actually innovating? Because sometimes they are the ones that really put this constraint, and the organization may more be like we have an organization that has a profile that is more like an hierarchical structure, but still based on certain products they are trying to roll out, they try to constitute like a Scrum team and all that. So what can you do in such cases? What practical steps, or if you've also encountered such kind of scenario, how did you really go about to make the organization see that this is what they're doing, and maybe unconsciously they might not know that it's actually impacting negatively on the team?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Maxwell. That's a very deep and well thought out question. It's also probably a much bigger question than we have time for right now, but let me give you a quick answer. So first of all, if you're the coach or the Scrum Master in that space, I think it's really, really important that you separate your outcomes from the organization's outcomes, right? You might see that certain aspects of the culture, the processes, the practices, whatever it is holding the organization back from being more innovative. But if you allow that to be your outcome, then your outcome is dependent on decisions and actions made by people who have built successful careers doing exactly the thing that you can see they need to stop. So you may find that a real struggle. So if you can separate your outcome, and then effectively your outcome becomes to provide effective coaching, to give professional advice, to make sure that the right thing is heard, to give visibility of the system, to be that coach or Scrum Master, and then you can deal with it differently. This will help you to think about the problem differently as well. Once you've separated your outcome, now you can look at what's the outcome for them. The team might be struggling because, you know, they want to be more innovative, they want to collaborate, but maybe they have KPIs that keep them apart, or maybe the process, the way that it's set up, makes it hard for them to collaborate. You know, whatever it is that's happening in the team that you're observing that's stopping them from doing it, they can't change their KPIs. And if you go to the leader and say, you need to change the KPIs because that's stopping the team from innovating, they'll be, well, you're just a Scrum Master. You're insane. You know, Scrum Masters know nothing. I've built a successful career by efficiently optimizing the people that work for me. My testers spend 90% of their time testing. 10% of their time they're in meetings and doing timesheets and things like that, but 90% of their time is testing. That's really efficient. You're telling me they should spend time on documentation, which is not a strength, and they're only going to be, you know, 1/3 as effective at that as a BA, and they're going to spend some of their time doing something they're only 1/3 as good, and that means they're only spending 60% of their time on testing. That's not efficient. It's obviously not the right thing to do in their mind. You know, as the Scrum Master, that the flow of work through the whole team will uplift if you can create opportunities to innovate, if you can create opportunities to collaborate, if you can actually create opportunities for people to strengthen their T-shaped skills. But when you go to the leaders and say you need to remove this constraint, they'll have every good reason why that constraint exists. So you actually, from my approach to this, is to actually step into the shoes of the leader. Understand that they have good reason to have optimized for individual efficiency. Understand they're not going to immediately get a conversation about optimizing for overall effectiveness, right? It's the effectiveness of the whole system that matters, not the individual efficiency. I could have a team where everyone's individually efficient and they produce nothing. In fact, I worked with a team only recently that hadn't delivered anything for 2 years, but they were busy. They were really busy and they were efficient. Each person was doing exactly their job title all the time. So being efficient doesn't help, but the leaders don't see that because that's what they were taught when they did their MBA. So get close to the leader, understand what their problems are, and then you'll be able to slant the approach one little piece at a time to meet the leader's objectives. Right? The leader might be saying, we need to increase this or grow that, or whatever the strategy is, what the leader wants. Get close to that leader, build a relationship with them, set up a 15-minute chat with them every week just to get to know them and to talk about what are the most important things I should be working on. What do you think I should be optimizing? And then you'll find the opportunities expand. What you talk about with that leader over time, you can then get to the bigger, meatier questions that are more challenging for that leader, like the difference between overall effectiveness versus individual efficiency. Does that answer your question, or was that just a big rant?
Yeah. it kind of. But I had one more concern, like shouldn't the product owner be more closer to the leaders like that? But I also had a rethink that, of course, you could have different leaders in the organization, and the Scrum Master basically is in charge of leading Scrum adoption. So definitely, it could also be at the point of really identifying some key leaders and really trying to create that rapport with them.
Awesome. Thank you all. I think we've got to time. I did just want to express enormous gratitude for inviting me into your space. It's always a delight for me to spend time with a group of people who want to learn and want to share learning and want to grow. So thank you all so much.
Thank you very much, Terry. Somebody wants to know about your upcoming book or the release of your book. And please just look for him on LinkedIn, because the link I dropped, it's somebody saying she couldn't connect through that. So if you search for Terry Haayema on LinkedIn, you can connect with him. Terry, would you want to say something about your book? Somebody wants you started it, but I think we cut you short. So sorry about that. Somebody wants to.
So my book is called Be Agile. And basically it's a series of activities, exercises, tools, tips, and techniques to help people develop an agile mindset. So it's not just about doing agile, it's as much about being agile. It's called Be Agile, and it'll be out at the end of March.
So I guess we do not have questions as we stand. Thank you so much, Terry, for your sacrifice. You should be sleeping at this time. We really do appreciate this. Thank you so much. And hopefully sometime in the future, we'll have another time to have you come present to us. I know people would still want to hear from you and learn from you, especially when they get to read your book when it's out and no more. Thank you so much. Mercy wants to say something and throw in some more information. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much, Terry. You are highly appreciated. And I want to thank all our MVPs for being here. Thank you for your kind messages that you're dropping in the chat. We appreciate you. Can I just get a Y in the chat if you're going to invite somebody to the next meetup? We have meetup every Thursday, different guest speakers speaking to us. Let me just see some Y's in the chat. But we have gotten some topics from you that you'd like us to focus on. The goal is to add value. Oh, thank you. Yes. I can see a lot of yes. Much appreciated. Thank you so much, Terry. Our goal is to democratize learning and making this agile adoption easy for everyone by bringing experts to the community to speak to everyone. And we're very grateful to all our speakers. You've made this a beautiful experience, and we're grateful to all our participants. If you have something you'd like to share with the community, do reach out to us, okay? Thank you so much, Terry. We look forward to the next meetup, and have a great day.
Thank you all.
Bye.